Hello everybody, this is Juntas, and today we're doing an auction house playing guide for World of Warcraft Classic. So I wanted to give myself a challenge. I've never really, done auction house playing on a completely new realm, in kind of like a new setting and all that sort of stuff. I'm mostly just focused on auction house playing on retail, so it would be fun to kind of experiment a bit with Classic. So my method, or my strategy even, is kind of like thinking, okay, so what's hot on a Classic? Well, that's Frost Mages, kinda warlocks a little bit, rogues, and then warriors. So that was kind of like my mindset. I knew that those classes were like in demand, a lot of people were gonna play those. So my first initial kind of way to get a bit of gold was to I actually got a boost in walling caverns, so I was able to kind of loot all the items, and I think I made like 5 gold from that run, and plus some other gold. I was up to like 10 gold at like level 19, maybe 20, and now I kind of just started living for a little bit and just kind of also want to have a little fun with the auction I was playing. So kind of like get the first 10 gold through walling caverns, get like a rush, something like that. The first 10 gold sucks ass, I know, but that's really all you kind of need to get the ball going. Because once you have the ball going, you have to find your niche. You kind of have to know what is like interesting. So for instance, like here in trade, I can actually see that this dude is trying to sell like this offhand here. This is a pretty interesting item for me. Shadow spell damage is really excellent for warlocks and maybe even shadow priest, of course, if there's actually any priests that are not healing. But yeah, you can see that currently right now at this time of recording, I have 67 items listed. Actually, I was up at 140, but I just need to relist some items that were expired. So the niche has to be found. You have to know that a lot of classes are in demand. So Frost Mages were definitely my kind of like the meme target. Everyone is playing a Frost Mage right now. It's not even funny how popular that class is, for good reasons, because they are really great to level and they are also really great at endgame. They are maybe even the best DPS in Classic, at least I think so, for PvE. Maybe not for PvP, but yeah. So it was kind of like thinking, okay, so we're gonna do some monkey items, we're gonna do some frozen items, we're gonna do some rare BOEs that I can snipe for cheap, because people don't really know the values of like this item here. It's below level 20, so that can be pretty good. Also, we know that a lot of people are leveling with staffs, shamans, etc. So they always want cheap staffs. And yeah, then you also just kind of have to look around, try to snipe a few of these blue items that are posted really cheaply sometimes. Yeah, kind of like going to different markets again. Warriors are really popular. We kind of miss a play class not having paladins on horde side, which I'm currently playing on. But still, off the bear is really good. It's really stupid because warriors actually want strength and spirit at that level, but whatever, they're still the highest selling items. But mostly I found really good value in items like these ones. This is a classic example of a really great item that people post for 50 silver or less, and you can just buy them up and sell them for at least 2 to 3 gold. I think the best sold frozen item I have is 10 gold or something. Was it 11 gold maybe? So it's pretty fun to see that people want the good stuff and they're willing to pay for it even as early into Classic. A few other items I could maybe also consider mentioning. Professions, I only have herb and skinning. It wasn't really that good value. However, if you are really great at auction house playing, you should consider going into trade materials. I flipped a little few of these perfect deviate scales when I bought them at like 20 silver, so it's not that much, of course, but if you're really good at auction house playing, you should consider going to trade materials. It's just a little more risky, especially starting out. I much more prefer, low level items flipping, because I know they are gonna sell and it's pretty low risk. So I'm gonna show you kind of just now what to do to get those items. So I always start out with staffs when I kind of log into the bank gold, and I'm kind of like, yeah, okay, new round and whatever you want to call it. So I can see there's no real staff values that are currently exciting. I'm looking for items under a gold. That has always been like my target. And then the next thing I'm going to do now is just type in frozen up here at the search. See that, yeah, perfect. 1 frost damage, okay, that's a little too low, so I'm gonna skip that one. But this is a great example of an item. If this had maybe a little higher level and plus 5 frost damage, something like that, I would definitely have bought it. This one is also an item that I was looking at before actually recording. This is a great example of like a risk. I have the gold now, so I can start risking. 1 gold is not that bad. So we are kind of gonna consider this helm now. So let's look at this helm. It's a cloth helm, of course, and then we'll go into like the head and type in the parameters. What level are we looking for? Say 25 to 55, sure. And you can see all the items here listed at 36, so that's comparable. There's also another one at 42 with 29 frost damage. So you can see that potentially I could easily make a gold in profit on this item here. So I'm gonna buy it right now. I know that I am risking quite a bit on buying items above a gold. I don't like that. I like to stay below a gold, maybe even below 50 silver. But I know I have a pretty good chance here at making at least a golden profit. So I'm gonna buy that item and hopefully it's gonna do okay. So we will move on with some other kind of search queries. So you also have to know that a lot of players are not really smart. They're kind of dumb actually. Even though it's classic and you're thinking everyone is like, you know, like me who knows all about the game, but it's not really the case. So a good example here would be mazes. I don't really believe that rogues like mazes, leveling with mazes and all that kind of stuff. So you can see here, if I saw this as a sword item or a dagger item, I would instantly have bought this one at 50-50 silver. I sold a similar sword and dagger, a few of them at 2 gold. Actually today I sold 1 or 2 of those swords. But yeah, I don't like this. I don't like the mazes, so I never really try to look for that. However, swords, let's take a look. So this one's interesting. It has 3 agility at 2 stamina at 22. So now this is a pretty great item. If I'm gonna buy it, however, I'm not really sure, because again it's a little too high for me. I don't like the gold price. I like it below that, as I mentioned before. So we will move on. And then we will go to like a dagger. So you can see there's only a single of the monkey dagger listed. Another search you can also try for is something like, you know, this here, the tiger. So you get strained. Agility, it's not that great. You can see also not really anything interesting posted. The dagger here could maybe be fun. I think I might consider buying that one. But let's try another thing. We could perhaps go for rare items. I think that could be a fun little kind of thing. I should also mention that right now I'm playing on a server that's pretty high populated. I guess I don't know how Classic Realms work really. I guess nobody really knows. But you can see that a lot of items are posted really cheaply. So like these items here, I try to sell these ones. I already have a pair. But I'm not really that interested in selling these kind of low commodity items. That's not really going to bring in the big profit. An item like this one is also pretty interesting. I also looked at the shields for a while, but you have to consider again what is popular on Classic. Feral Druids is actually more popular than Restro or Balanced Druids. That's just the case. That also makes sense because I believe that Feral Druids are superior for leveling. At least that's my point of view. So this might seem really great. You know, it has really great stats for healing and all that stuff, but it's not interesting enough. If I can win it for 50 silver, sure, but I'm not gonna risk more than that. So again, we have to think what's popular, what's gonna sell. Still, I like to believe that there's just gonna be more demand for rogue and mage items. Maybe warrior items as well. That is not really the thing that I would like to believe. But again, this is a short little test to kind of challenge myself. I never really, you know, have done auction house playing like this before in a new realm. And I figured it would be fun to kind of show. Anywho, now I have to get reposted. It's very boring to repost and find the items, of course. That takes a little while. Let's see the play time on this Boing Gold. Oh my god. Okay, I have to say I've been AFK as well, and I have to travel a lot and kind of set it up and all that stuff. So, yeah, I guess I've been active for at least 10 hours or something like that. So 10 hours for 100 gold in Classic. I guess that's kind of like what I actually made when I think about it. That's actually pretty good. So I've been making 10 gold an hour at level 25. I guess that's pretty okay, but of course at endgame you can probably farm with a frost mage AoE grinding for like 20 gold an hour or something like that if you know some methods. But still, 10 gold per hour is pretty good, I would think, especially at level 25 when I don't really have any capital to kind of invest into bigger profit markets. So yeah, don't want to make the video that much longer. If you found this interesting, definitely free to let me know. I might consider do some more weird auction house playing guide like these ones. Mostly I'm just focused on retail, which I also did a video on recently. So yeah, it's fun to kind of experiment with auction house playing and also just doing other content and leveling, because classic can be pretty boring. So it's up to yourself to kind of find what's fun for you. I definitely enjoy this sort of gold playing here. So thank you so much for watching, everyone, and have a good one.